Hello dear friends and welcome back to my session. I am Dr. Priya Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management. We have been discussing a lot about different types of tourism, and today we will be talking about volunteer tourism. So in our session, we would be able to understand the meaning of volunteer tourism, the definitions of volunteer tourism, volunteer tourist typologies. We will also learn about the motivations of volunteer tourism. We will get to know about the positive impacts of volunteer tourism and also about what are the negative impacts of volunteer tourism. So first we need to understand what is volunteer tourism. Before we begin, we should know the diction meaning of volunteering. Volunteering is all about doing things willingly and not at the cost of money. Similarly, volunteer tourism is a type of tourism where an individual has a will to travel abroad to a destination that is predominantly currently undeveloped and also developing in order to offer some support to those who are in need. So this is willingly person who want to support the other people who are in need and they are not very developed, or the destinations that are not very developed, so we can go there and support them. Also, volunteer tourism is a specific form of tourism designed purposely to provide a product or a service to meet the needs of particular market segment, and also it means that it is falling in the umbrella of niche tourism. That means we need to particularly have one segment defined for undertaking the volunteer tourism. Now there has been different researches done and the experts have given different definitions of volunteer tourism also. So as per Stephen Waring, volunteer tourism is about undertaking the holidays that might involve aiding or alleviating the material poverty of some groups in the society and restoration of certain environments or the research into aspects of society or environment. That he relates to the development of the society and also upgrading the status of people and basically eliminating their poverty and also restoring their rights towards the environment and also towards the society. Similarly, the Marina Novel has also given a definition which says that volunteer tourism is all about individuals who offer their service to change some aspects of society for better. Definitely, when we volunteer for certain actions, we would be aiming to provide something that is better for society, and we would be able to enhance and upgrade the status of society and the people residing there. There has been an unknown expert who has also said that volunteers are those who undertake holidays that aid and elevate poverty, and also most importantly not for them. They are not selfish, they rather are thinking about the people. They are rather thinking about the society in which they are residing. So all these terminologies define that what exactly the volunteer tourism is. Similarly, we have certain volunteer tourism projects that have been a part of volunteer journey. In the group activities, we can see in the chart that in case of community or welfare, we have child care, we have elderly or disability, we have human right and legal. In case of teaching, teaching a foreign national or sport coaching. In case of environmental, we can have nature conservation, the wildlife protection, the global warming. Also in case of medical, it is all about hospital support, the pandemic support that has recently happened, the building, the constructions and the renovation. And in case of research, we will talk about in the volunteer tourism, it's about the wildlife monitoring and the land mapping zoning. So these are certain projects that can be undertaken in the volunteer tourism. Now, there are certain types of tourism that can be very closely linked to volunteer tourism. To understand the meaning and aspect of volunteer tourism, we need to know various different kinds of other forms of tourism. Some of these we have already discussed in our last sessions. So, it's about alternative tourism. Alternative tourism is about opposite to the mass tourism, because mass tourism is something that will be harming the environment, harming the people, the native, the community, but alternative tourism is about, it involves the authentic and personal traveling, encouraging the interaction with the local people, environment and community, and not even harming them. Similarly, we have sustainable tourism. Sustainable tourism is about visiting a destination with the purpose of making a very positive impact on the environment. That means we will make sure that our actions are not harming the environment and we are not causing anything that is negative for the environment. We have ecotourism. Ecotourism is about traveling responsibly to natural areas that conserves the environment and improves the well-being of the local people. Then we have, very recently we discussed this, we have responsible tourism. Any form of tourism that minimizes the negative economic, social and environmental impacts while enhancing the benefits for the local people. So, all these together constitute the volunteer tourism. While practicing the volunteer tourism, we will not be breaching any of these forms of tourism. Also, we have pro-poor tourism. Pro-poor tourism is not specific form of tourism, but rather it is an approach to the industry that generates economic, social, environment or cultural benefits for the poor people or for the poor segment of the society. We also have charity tourism. Charity tourism involves elevating the material poverty, restoration of environment and research into the aspects of society or environment. We also have a gap year tourism. This is very unique and this is a new concept which says a form of tourism which is basically associated with traveling, volunteering or working abroad. We take a break and we travel abroad to involve in volunteer tourism. Now, there are certain researchers and the experts who have given the volunteer tourist typologies. That means they have segregated or defined different ways and forms of volunteer tourism. So, Callan and Thomas categorizes the volunteer tourist on the basis of 6 main objectives. They are destination, the duration of the project, the focus on experience, the qualification of the tourist, the active versus the passive participation of the tourist, also the level of contribution towards the local or to the local people. So, on the basis of these 6 main objectives, he has categorized the typologies into 3 categories, that is the shallow volunteers, the intermediate volunteers and the deep volunteers. So, the shallow volunteers are classified as those who are dominated by the personal interest. They have their own personal interest and they prefer usually the short trips, that means few weeks or few days, and they are basically go for the volunteer tourism to demonstrate few skills, to experience the low levels of direct contributions and also to have more passive participation. Then we have intermediary volunteer tourisms, wherein they are focused on self-interest and self-development and they have different motives like upgrading their CV and also the ego enhancement. Then we have something called as deep volunteers. At the other end of the spectrum, there are deep tourists. These tourists typically partake in projects that are longer in duration. That means they will not be only for weeks, they will be for 6 months or so, basically more than that, and they will possess specific skills and qualifications. For these tourists, the project and the impact on the environment and the community also plays a very important role, because they have to spend longer duration, then they need to make sure that they are not even harming the environment or also they are not harming the community. Now, the McGee has also said there are different types of categories. According to them, the volunteer tourists can be categorized into 3 categories: the vanguards, the pragmatists and the questers. The vanguards are the most motivated tourists. demonstrating the interest in skill building, seeking the most physically and mentally intense experience, and also this is among the youngest people who will be involved in these kind of activities. So the vanguards would be the youngest tourists. They need to be highly motivative. Then comes the pragmatists. The pragmatists are the larger group of volunteer tourists. Here they will be motivated by the culture and the social immersion, and also they will have a desire to connect. This tourist lends to middle-aged volunteers. They may not be very young, or they may not be Generation Z. They may be the middle-aged tourists, or they will be the millennials. Also then comes the questers. The questers tend to be the oldest and tend to gravitate towards different motivations, yet they demonstrate they have little bit lack of awareness also, but yes, they are very much motivated towards going for the act of volunteer tourism. Then the second form of categories of volunteer tourists has been given by Daldas and Hampton, who says that there are two ways of demonstrating volunteer tourist, voluntourist and voluntourist. In ways this is different, as these typologies debates that volunteer tourist can be motivated either by two prospects. It can be either the volunteer experience or just the vacation itself. That means a person can either be interested or motivated for the vacation, or he is interested in his willingness to go for an act of volunteering even in the part of tourism. So either his actions will be motivating him, or the vacations or the destination will be motivating. Now we will discuss some of the motivations of volunteer tourism. Some of the motivations are, the first and foremost motivation is opportunity to travel. One will get an opportunity, this is the biggest motivation. The volunteer tourism involves traveling to another country in most of the cases, and this is one of the very appealing and lucrative offer for a tourist, that he will get a chance to move to other countries or travel to other countries. So people often opt for volunteer tourism. The second is camaraderie. Volunteer tourism generally involves meeting new people. He will get a chance to meet new people, to interact with the new people and the new culture as a whole. Whether the tourist is spending time with the local population or the other volunteer tourist, or both, it is likely that they have to inform or keep their relationship very stronger among all the tourists. Then we have a different motivation, which is skill development. Definitely, if we are exposed to different areas, different communities and different people, we will learn different skills, we will learn different types of interest, we will learn to know about different informations. So volunteer tourism provides tourists with an opportunity to develop a range of skills, and developing new skills and enhancing their portfolios or CVs, and this can be one very dominant reason that people can add certain new skills in whatever they have learned in their curriculum vitae. Then the next motivation is altruism. Altruism, the many people choose this part of volunteer tourism because they feel like they need to give something back. Whatever they have earned from the society, or whatever they have learned from the environment, they have to give it back now. Now it's their time to give it back to them. So this is also a very strong reason of motivation, and back in the early days of volunteering also, this was very frequently noted motivation, although today it has slightly degraded and this has become a secondary motivation to give back something. At the moment, people or the tourists think of their self first rather than giving it back. But yes, for some this is being a part of motivation, and they have been motivated for this cause also. Then we have a reason or a motivation called as personal growth. On the completion of the placements, many volunteer tourists explains that they feel that they have developed as a person. As a part of a volunteer team or doing the volunteering acts, they try to develop them as a person. So this people also desire finding themselves, they introspect themselves, and they learn more about themselves. So the volunteer tourism or spending time during the tourist activity will give them some their me time, and also they will try to explore their inner selves. So this is also a very strong motivation, because end of the day this will lead to be a well-being of a person, and today everybody is going behind the mental, social and the physical well-being. Next motivation is education. This is an inevitable educational benefit also, that we are undertaking any volunteer tourism project. Whether the tourists undertake formal learning or whether it is learning through their travel or cultural experiences. So education also plays an important role as one of the main motivating factor. Then comes the linguistics. For many people, they get a chance to volunteer and go to different places and learn new language. So learning a language can also be a motivation or a part of importance for some of the people or tourists. These tourists may choose to undertake volunteer tourism placements in location which speaks language that they are hoping to learn. So they would be eager to go to France to learn French maybe. They would be even similarly they would love to go to China to learn Chinese language. So they would be keen to go to different places to learn there, to basically make their learning skills and the language skill more proficient. Next is the family or peer pressure at times. Some volunteer tourists choose to undertake their placements because of the pressure of the family or the friends. Perhaps their parents have suggested always that it is good idea, or their friends are going and want to accompany them. So under that pressure they want to be a part of those volunteer trips or volunteer projects. There is also a motivation which is called as cultural immersion. Volunteer tourism allows participants to be exposed to new culture, and also they would be able to be part of that culture and participate in those cultural activities. Also, they will get another motivation factor, that is novel experience, something they might have never experienced before. So volunteer tourism enables tourists to have a unique and novel experience. It is something that they might not never do it again, so they want to be a part of it. So they at least want to get associated once in a lifetime. They want to create a memorable and a novel experience for themselves. Now we will be discussing about the positive impact of volunteer tourism. If we have talked so much about volunteer tourism, then how good it is and what positive impacts does it doing for the society or for the environment, we need to know that. So the first and foremost positive impact is it helps the host community. Definitely there would be a development of the host community if we are able to participate in the volunteer tourism, and also the people would be able to know what is the need of the host community, and they would be able to direct them and help them and basically fulfill their needs and make them more enhanced and more productive. Then we will have something called as enhanced cross-cultural understanding. This is one very important positive impact, because it is our duty to respect each other's culture. We need to respect the host community culture. Also, volunteering helps in the local community by building the foundation for the cross-cultural understanding, and also they will know about different cultures, trends and different geographic lines that will be very helpful for them. Also, the cohesion of different cultures gives them insights, give them different types of knowledge and helps them to have a secure type of an environment. Then there would be, one of the impacts would be, there would be reduction in racial, cultural and social boundaries also. By enhancing the cross-culture understandings, we will reduce the context of any racial, cultural or social discriminations or the boundaries in fact. This is done through merging cultures and also understanding the social differences that can be done only during the volunteer projects. The appreciations for the cultural diversities and learning also increases the respect and understanding. Then we have enhances the social capital. Definitely the social capital is the resource in which the social interactions and the network opportunities takes place, and which enables the society to operate effectively. So it will also help to upgrade and enhance the social capital of the society as well. It would be a contribution towards the international development. What will happen when we will be a part of volunteer project? We will be able to even contribute internationally, because we will be going to so many international destinations. When the developed world becomes very active, they go and support the developing or the underdeveloping destinations as well. So this will be like global contributions of each other for helping each other for a good cause. Then there are definitely certain negative impacts of volunteer tourism as well. It will limit the benefits due to the short longevity of the volunteer placements, because the volunteer tourism projects are predominantly very short period of time. They may last for around 2 weeks. In some cases it may reach till 6 months, but it probably usually it happens for a very short span of time. During such a short time frame, there is very little to get done, and it will be known such learning process very effectively. Then there would be definitely some instances of cultural shock also, because tourists may not be very much aware of what the other people's culture are. So they may get a cultural shock. They may not be able to adapt to the other person's culture as well. Tourists often commit to volunteer tourism with little understanding and the knowledge. So therefore they face little difficulty in basically understanding the other person's culture. Also, the experience does not match the expectations. We may think of something else, that we may be going and experiencing this, or this may happen. We have our own fascinations and we have our own hypotheses, but in reality that might not be the expectations, or that might not be the final result. So there would be certain disappointments, certain dissatisfactions also. There can be even cross-cultural misunderstanding. The first thing is that you may not understand their culture, and the second instance can be that you may misunderstand their culture. So the volunteers offer travel to volunteer programs with a little knowledge and understanding of the host culture, or the vice versa. And similarly, this can even leads to the misunderstanding. Few of the rituals or few of the activities, they may say that this is not right for our culture, so they may misunderstand it. So it's always good that we should always try to interact, respect, learn and explore the other people culture, so that we have a good understanding and do not have any misunderstanding of one's culture. Also, the one can have an unauthentic experience. Volunteers benefit through the feeling that they made a difference, but then definitely it might not be a very authentic experience for them. They may not be satisfied as they were expecting to. So this can also be one of the cause, and this is a negative impact. Now they may also feel that they may get a feeling of unneeded or unused, because volunteer tourism usually happen in a group. So there may be many people who would be volunteering for under a single project. So you may feel, or you may get that inferiority complex, that you may not be used, or your potential has not been encashed or harnessed so far. So you may get a feeling of being dejected, ignored, or even neglected. So this can also be one of the negative impacts. There is also language barriers. At times when we move to different volunteer tourist destinations, they can be of different culture and so also of different language. So we may face some kind of language barriers, wherein facing these barriers we may not be able to give our 100%, and we may have land up into certain trouble or certain chaos also at times. There may be lack of amenities or activities. One, of course, people go with the perception that there would be lot to do, and there may be certain activities which may be missing. There may be certain amenities like the health services, the food services, or the less resources also a person may have. So there can be some lack of these amenities and the activities. So with this we come to the end of the session. Thank you and hope it was a learning day for you.